Hello and welcome everyone to
What
a new
the
Let's Play.
fuck is this?
Wait
Those
for
are
it.
borders.
Wait for it.
Oh no!
borders
Make it go
paint.
away.
Ew.
It's
Ew.
Konami.
Ew.
Clouds.
Still Konami.
What could this game possibly be?
Garbage.
I wonder.
Castlevania.
It's almost like
That
oh,
pattern looks familiar.
It's almost like people could probably
No
read the title
way.
of the video.
Shh. I was going to say that. I'm not going to joke around any longer because it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories, and you probably could have told that by the title. But anyway, here we are. By the way, the little borders are actually like part of my desktop because for some reason it captured that. But this is Forbidden Memories. This is a PlayStation 1 game about a children's trading card game before the official rules of the card game actually were like fleshed out. By the way, we're going to name our character Stooge.
Oh my god, those fucking
He's-
sound effects.
He is, yes, he is Prince Stooge.
Well, this is also PS1.
Guys, I thought that we were playing Digimon.
Close enough.
Okay.
No, I'm probably gonna
Dragon, Rock the
Oh.
Dragon?
I'm probably gonna be the one recording Digimon.
So this game,
It's
Okay.
Seto Kaiba.
no, that's actually a totally different character. But this game is
It's
mostly
Jafar!
Oh fuck!
it's split into two halves where you have all the text and story takes place in an almost visual novel-esque manner,
Did we just
and then
see
you
this?
have yes,
Well, it's a
and
good
then
thing
we
'cause I
have-
already forgot the name of the game.
and then we have. You could say that your memories are forbidden. And then we have the card battling aspect, which is the majority of the actual gameplay. This is Simon Moran. He's going to ask us to go back to bed, and of course we're going to say no, although you have the option to keep listening. If you do, you'll actually skip this entire section of the game.
Let's skip
But this is a Let's Play, so I'm going to assume that you don't want to skip that entire part of the game, and we're going to go around. There's a couple of different areas you can go to. There's a card shop here, which this fat ass does not sell cards. How are you running a shop and not selling me cards? But you can save, you can build your
That's
deck,
not-
you can return to the title
That's not
screen.
Yugi's grandpa.
Yeah.
Dude,
And
his
then
grandpa got
you
fat.
you can also leave the shop, of course, because I mean, why would you not want the option to leave the shop? But I don't know.
You just removed a card from your deck.
I did, but this is the build deck screen. This is where you'll spend any of your time in between duels or just on the build deck screen, wherever you decide to go to.
You just
in
added
order
a card to your
change.
deck.
I did add a card to my deck. You have to have 40 cards exactly. You can't have any more, and you can't have any less. That's just how this game worked mechanically. That's also how the old rules before the card game was actually commercialized were. So, like, you didn't have the option to have, whatever you wanted for cards, which most card games you have an exact number that you have to follow anyway, so... I'm going to return to the title screen, show you guys some different options you can do before we move on.
What game were we playing
Yeah.
again?
You can do free duel, which here you'll unlock all the duelists in the story that you can reduel. And then there's this guy named Duel Master K who doesn't have a face, but he has some shades. He actually just uses the exact same deck that you're using when you go in to duel him, so you can mirror match yourself. You can also build deck here. It's the same exact thing. You can also go to your library, which will show you all of your cards that you've collected. You can check their descriptions. Some of their descriptions aren't very accurate or tell you what, like, for the spells and traps, they don't really tell you exactly how they function. Because this was before spells and traps were more fleshed out, or anything was more or less fleshed out. Also, this game has 3D models. They're very ugly. And none of the monsters have effects. None of them. Even if they had an effect in the actual card game, it does not have an effect in this game.
So that man-eater bug you had doesn't have his flip effect?
No, he does not.
Oh, that's bullshit.
He is in the game, but you cannot actually... He does not have an effect. You can duel your another person who has like another memory, like in your second memory card slot. You can trade. You can go into the options menu, which literally has just like 2 options. It's just like mono, stereo sound, and like I don't know, some other one. Here I do like a fast forward. It goes silent because that's just how it ended up getting edited out. But this is me trading a bunch of cards from my other memory card over, because I'm going to say one thing here now. Forbidden Memories is an incredibly grindy game. If you spend hours and hours on different duelists, you will still probably not get the cards that you need to progress through the game, and sometimes the game can get downright stupid with what the opponent gets. It's very chance-based, but...
It's Seto Kaiba.
No, this
it's not.
This is a mage who's guarding a shrine, and he won't let you go. You can come back here later for a little bit of dialogue, which we will do, but we're going to actually start doing some duels. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to duel this guy that we just ran away from, because he gives us the option to do that.
And it's Seto Kaiba.
It's Simon Moran.
This fucker is actually in all 3 games.
Yes, Simon Moran plays a very important part in the less in like the games where like there's less of like the actual rules taking place, because back when they had like a bunch of like different characters that never really made it into the show and manga, he was one of the important ones. I forget how I open this fight. Oh yeah, I just make this dude. You can fuse cards from your hand, by the way. There's no specifics as to what you can fuse. If it's generally of a certain type, and each card, even though it has a type, it also has like a hidden secondary type, quote unquote. If they mix well and their attack power is low enough, they can create something that's bigger, and that's the gist of it. Simon Moran is very weak. He doesn't use like anything worth mentioning.
All I know is that this game has shown me that Dragon's Treasure is actually a really old card.
Yeah, it is. I had one.
Yeah, I have one too, but you know, some of the cards I don't actually remember how old they are.
Oh yeah. Each of the monsters has 2 what are called Guardian Star Signs. They're basically like Pokemon's types, although not as fleshed out. There's just 2 different circles, and if your sign is better than something on the wheel, it'll get an attack bonus. If it is worse than something on the wheel that it's on, it will get a 500 point. The other thing will get a 500 point bonus. It helps you get rid of bigger stuff.
How do you pronounce that monster's name? Like Neko Gal?
Neko Gal, yep.
So you mix an elf with a wolf, and it becomes a cat girl.
It becomes a cat girl. Like I said, there's a ton of different fusions that will create the same outcomes. Like any thunder monster and a dragon monster with 1600 or less attack will create thunder dragon, and any dragon plus another thunder monster, if one of them has 1600 or more, will make twin-headed thunder dragon. That creature, twin-headed thunder dragon, yes, I'm taking us to a 3D thing. That creature will get you through most of the game, up until stuff starts getting thrown down with 3000 and plus attack.
Holy shit, she's ugly.
We're gonna show you some of the really bad models for the monsters. I will do this at least once per video.
This is some fucking Final Fantasy battle music right now.
Also, the animations are horrible.
You know, the music is already better than Duelist of the Roses, because when a battle goes on in Duelist of the Roses, it's just completely silent.
No, the music in this game is good. It's just pretty much everything else you can think of is pretty bad.
The only battlefield that I can remember that plays music is the Toon World field.
You win!
You win. Whenever you win, you'll get a star rating anywhere from, I think it's 2 to 5 stars. I think there might be... no, wait, no, there is at 1 to 5 stars. And those actually go into like a little bank and you can buy cards by putting in passwords on the main menu. We're going to be going to the duel ground next whenever I decide what I want to do here. Oh yeah, I want to go to the shrine first because this is where you can do the...
It's Seto
Oh wait,
Kaiba
no.
again.
I thought that the thing... There's another, like, story thing that you can miss, but it's not till after you do the duel grounds. What was I mentioning? Oh, the music.
Oh my god.
Oh, hi, Taya.
Yes.
It's Seto
It's Seto
Kaiba.
Kaiba.
What?
No.
Seto
Her name
Taya.
is Tayana.
No,
We're-
that's Seto Kaiba. You can't trick me.
Her name is Tayana.
Fucking Seto
Listen
Kaiba.
here, you fucking weeb.
Fight me.
It's Taya.
Fight me.
No, they literally changed her name to Tayana by adding an N and an A. It's...
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's it.
Also, I think this is the closest that the 3 games will ever be to an actual, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel.
Yeah, it follows the older rules, but it, for the most part, tries to follow the main card game. Differences, though, being that you must always have 5 cards in your hand, so you'll draw extra until you get to 5.
Oh, no.
Wait,
Wait, hey.
wait. You have to fuse your crush
Cloud
card
ha-
with a dragon.
Yeah, Cloud has a crush card, which means he's Kaiba.
I'm Kaiba. So fusing stuff, or you can also like try to fuse, and if it fails, it'll just boot the other cards out of your hand. You'll draw extra cards until you get 5. You can also technically only play 1 card onto the field at a time. It doesn't matter if it's a magic trap card or a monster. You can only play 1 card at a time that goes onto the field. So, unlike in the actual card game, you could like play as many spell trap cards as you want, plus a monster, plus anything else that can get special summoned. You are very restricted in what you can play. That's the main differences.
Also, that other
I mean,
card,
the
the other card you played is also a card I have in my GX game. So, Jesus, that card is old too.
I made Dark Elf.
That makes a little bit more sense.
Yes. I just took Mystical Elf. I like Mystical Elf.
Mystical-
She's a pretty good card.
Yeah, if I don't have her, I have a Giant Soldier of Stone as basically my defensive wall for at least a few turns.
You win.
And
Oh, yeah,
there
my,
goes the battle.
My keyboard keys got stuck. That's why I like started flipping through. But it does give you like data based on how you did.
It's Seto Kaiba.
Oh,
And then there's this. There's also
Seto fucking
there's also
Kaiba.
3 villagers. I'm gonna duel each of them here. You can also duel them later on, but I won't duel them then because they don't change their decks. They're the only 3 characters that don't change their decks between the first and future chances you have to duel them. But generally speaking, most of the people early on are going to use similar decks. And
I mean, you're using the same deck, so...
I am going to use the same deck for a while.
Well, then why are you complaining about changing decks? Come on, man.
Because it's different duelists, not the same person.
what was I gonna say? This game, well, actually, I mean, I can't really count Falsebound Kingdom because that just completely throws the rules out the window. But this game and Duels of the Roses actually used the pre-battle city rules where you could literally just summon any kind of like high-level monster just right then and there.
Oh yeah, I did forget to mention that, but it doesn't matter what level the creature is, you can just drop it, which was actually a relic from the old rules, because the old rules you didn't have to tribute at all.
Yeah, it wasn't until the Battle City rules that you actually needed to tribute someone.
Now it's a trial and error to find out what these secondary types are, but as you can see, Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon is actually a Thunder type, but he is considered a dragon by his secondary type, which is why I can use Dragon Treasure on him.
That... And he's a dragon.
That card right
One-Eyed
there...
Shield Dragon.
Yeah, that Raigeki, that's like basically torrential tribute, but it doesn't hurt you too.
Well, it's also yeah.
You win.
Torrential Tribute doesn't exist in this game, by the way. Torrential Tribute hadn't come out yet. Dark Hole is also in this game, but its ability is different. Rather than destroy all monsters, it actually destroys every card, period, on the field. It also,
Oh my
for some
god.
reason, makes my...
It's Yami Yugi.
What?
It also, for some reason, makes my emulator soft lock for about 15 seconds
No, see,
before it goes back.
it's Dark Hole. It destroys everything, including the emulator.
It does. It destroys everything. But yeah, no, I'm going to use, like, pretty much the same deck for a while. Later on, I'm actually going to cheat and just put every card in the game. Reasons being, one, the grinding for extra cards is dumb, as I mentioned. Two, it's actually not even possible to get a good number of cards in the game because they weren't programmed to be given to any of the duelists as rewards for you beating them. So you're actually completely locked out of certain cards, a couple of them actually being the cards that were featured prominently on the case of the game when it first came out, which was like Magician of Black Chaos is one of them.
I remember Graveyard in the Hand of Invitation having what do you call it? A pretty nasty effect for what was the Necromancer's guy's name in Yu-Gi-Oh? Like the original seasons.
Necromancer?
Yeah, you fight him in Duelist of the Roses. He's got Graveyard and the Hand of Invitation, and the nasty thing about him is that you know, his effect turns all the monsters on the field into zombies, and then he's got that Pumpkin, which if you leave him in defense mode, I think it increases.
You're probably thinking of Bones.
Oh yeah, that's his name. Yeah, because he's got that Pumpkin, which increases, if you put him in defense mode, he increases, I think, all zombie type monsters attack points by like 500 or 200, I forget. And he likes to use Graveyard in the Hand of Invitation to turn everything into a zombie card. But yeah, you're right.
Also,
you're right. He doesn't have an effect.
Yeah. They gain effects in the next game, Duelist of the Roses, but they're not always the same as they are in the card game either.
I actually find Duelist of the Roses more challenging simply because it turns into a flat-out strategy game.
This guy has
That's Seto Kaiba.
very, very big eyebrows.
No, that's Seto Kaiba.
But yeah, you won't be able to duel a couple of these guys again if you skip them. You'll be able to duel these three again with the same decks later, like I mentioned, but at least the decks as they have them at this point in the game, Tayana, you'll fight another person coming up. Simon Moran, obviously, you won't be able to get them like back until you do like another run through of the game.
You know, I don't know why it bothers even turning his cards around, because it's like in pretty much every Yu-Gi-Oh game ever, all the cards are always like backwards, so you can't see the enemy's hand. This one shows the cards, but it's like all mystified anyway, so it's like, what's the point?
Because reasons.
Who knows? Also, you can leave monsters in face down attack position.
Shit, you took damage.
Yeah. He uses the Guardian Star stuff to like be able to do that. So, like I said, you can make use of the Guardian Stars. Another way that you can boost your monster's attack and defense. I end up doing the Guardian Star thing here too. Besides the ways that we've already seen, is that there are field spells, and there are points later in the game where the field is already set to something other than what it is. That's why it's up in the top left corner.
Like
those give a 500 point boost to whatever has an affinity for it. Basically, if you played the Yu-Gi-Oh card game, you might know basic ideas of what gets what boosts. Like mountain, you get dragons and wing beasts and thunder types that get a boost, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You win.
I'm pretty sure that Duelist of the Roses would expand on this in quite a bit actually, because of the mechanics behind the game. I think also there are certain terrains that give added bonuses to creatures that didn't get bonuses before. But yeah, the 500 point boost would then be kind of, sort of, quote unquote, brought back for the anime, because the anime does the 20% boost on in Duelist Kingdom duels, and they tried to use the 20% boost to try to like match up as close as possible to the way that other media have done it. Although the card game only does 200 points, which makes it pretty much atrocious. But we're gonna see Joey get his ass kicked by Seto Kaiba.
Really?
Fucking
His name is Jono.
Seto Kaiba is dueling himself.
Is every character to you just gonna be Seto Kaiba?
No, there was that one guy that they called Yami-Yugi.
True. Fair point.
Joey, quick, use your chin.
Yeah, use your fucking chin, Seto Kaiba.
You never actually get to see that much detail to his chin.
Oh my
in this
God.
gameplay, unfortunately.
You know,
It's me.
I've been playing too many questionable games, and when he said, wait, did he
Jason.
call you an insect? I thought that
Yes.
said incest. I thought he said, I grow tired of this incest.
Now, it doesn't really matter what you choose there, because it's going to be the same regardless. That's another thing. Early on, you're going to get a lot of choices, and quite a few of them, especially in the next part, are pretty much choiceless choices. You don't actually have the choice. The game just tells you have a choice, and then if you choose the one that the game doesn't want you to, it's like, no, you have to choose the other one. Go back and try again.
What is Kaiba's like, what's wrong? Chicken?
Well, no, for that instance, it gets canceled regardless, so you end up going to the duel ground later on to duel him. This, I believe, yes, you get a little bit of story that you would miss otherwise.
What are all those Seto Kaibas doing over there?
These are the High Mages, which they will come into play later in the game.
It's the Seto Klux Klan.
Well, not necessarily,
Yes.
because they don't.
No,
They don't. No,
100%.
Listen, they don't actually work for Kaiba. They work for the other guy that you called Seto Kaiba at the beginning of the game.
So
Anyway,
they work for
we'll
Seto
see
Kaiba. Got it.
So we will see you in the next part when we go back to the palace.
Oh.
And duel Seto Kaiba.